Hello everybody, so making this really fast update on the syntropic no irrigation area. I wanted to show you how I manage it. So the beauty of this is of course that you have not have to bring any materials in to the system from outside. The system itself produces its own materials in terms of fertility and biomass in this case. And you can see the system is still thriving very well. We had rain again, so yeah, I cannot complain. Irrigation is same as an automatic irrigation. This time it comes from the sky, not from a drip hose, which is great. And so these ones have been cut down. They were already like this, and they have been cut down. The wind has mulch here on the edges, and they're coming back. So the trees in the middle here are still alive, little trees that came by seed, and that is great. You know, there's more coming. There's more of them germinating, and everything here is being cut periodically. So every time the system starts to go to seed, as you can see right here, all these grasses here, all these middle areas. So this is a tree line, and that is a tree line. So the rest you're seeing basically is constantly being pruned. Here again, I have lots of biomass on site. You can see that. These are willows. I planted with some acacia here. I've planted them some time ago already on the edge of a pond. This is now which is here at the lower edge of our land. This is the last bit of our land, and you can see how no irrigation, constantly pruning. So I use this really nice electric lawnmower to cut the vegetation, let's say, reasonably low. I don't want to get this effect too much. I don't want to see the soil obviously, because then I would stunt the regrowth. But this area had been tarped for a while with some biomass, like it's happening over here. It's just because I didn't have time to use the biomass yet, and then you basically automatically get these areas where there's basically nothing growing. So you can see how easy it is also to do the opposite of what we're trying to achieve here. So you can see this area is mowed, and I'm purposely not yet mowing this comfrey that was planted all along. You can see the lawnmower already chopped some of the cactus leaves, the barberry fig leaves. Some of the barberry fig leaves already are germinating. There's here a pumpkin, actually starting to look better than ever until now. But yeah, you can see here the cactus leaves obviously are very resilient, and they come through the mulch even. This is a layer of grass. I had put it earlier, and you can see the moisture in the cactus leaf stays. Even more so, they start to shoot out leaves themselves. So these will be plants of barberry fig in this system, which I can keep or use as biomass. I can choose whether I want to use them to use as a fruiting crop, or I use them for enriching the system all the time. And it counts for every crop obviously, but most logically we're using the ones like the native, let's say, weeds that are coming up, and they're all at this stage where they go to seed, and the mower should actually pass by a little bit closer to the flowers, and I should actually also knock down some of the flowers because they are going to seed as well. But I'm liking them in the system, and I'm keeping them as long as possible. Although to really prevent the senescent state, you want to get a lot of flowering, after the flowering, let's say, because these guys are really enjoying it. So let's give them what they need from it, these little bees. And so it's a beneficial factor in this system. But at a certain point, when they start to make seed, I really think I'm going to prune them down because I don't need that much seed of this plant. Maybe I leave a few sporadically to harvest that seed for later on. And yeah, most of it will leave the system, or better said, will be used to feed the system. And you can see here this all starts looking pretty nicely. Some stuff here at the base, the soil. Look at that. It feels moist, that I cannot film. But yeah, the system's coming along, some ammonia, and these plants can be huge, potentially huge plants. And yeah, some willows. So not many of the seeds that I hoped would germinate right from the start are germinating. So we have to hope that it all still will develop. Again, the most surprising ones is the taro that I see now and then come in between. They're still alive. You can see it over here. They're not fantastic, obviously, because they're super densely shaded, but they're alive and they can live with it. And so here there's some corn crops also. Amazing. Not expecting a great corn harvest. That's not really the objective, because I really want to regenerate this piece of land. I just want roots into the ground. I want photosynthesis. I want biomass to return to the topsoil, enriching the topsoil. I want those trees to establish, and I want them to start shading this system. And then I will go into the next stage. So yeah, I hope you liked this update. Anyway, I'm gonna continue chopping down you see there's lots of grass to chop and throw in the lines, give them this extra nitrogen. But the battery went down, so I couldn't make a one-take video. But yeah, so mowing is down, all the organic matter is on. You can see normally I make choices to add the excess material that I have available on the places where I feel the sun hits the most, and where obviously I didn't put enough the last time. So this one area will be next when we have more material available. And but for now I feel that the afternoon sun hits pretty hard here, so most of the grass went here. And so for the whole area that I've been mowing, also over there, you know, to give you an idea, I mean, I guess it's equivalent to 10 meters of mulch, or not even 8 meters probably. It depends also on what kind of weeds and grasses you have, of course. You can see I added reeds here, the ones that are growing here on the edges. They do give quite a lot of more work. It's much easier to walk behind the lawnmower and just chop it and throw it. That's why a lawnmower is very nice. Weed whacker is really great too. So the idea is that you make a very good cut, so that everything can regrow very fast. So you could say that the cut is pretty low here. I cut it very low. Some syntropic growers would say you should leave it a little bit taller, so you get more photosynthesis and the grass it comes back faster. So I'm trialing for myself what's the easiest way to manage this. I mean, there's more areas to mow, so it's not the only bit I'm doing. And obviously when the weeds are this tall, this lawnmower, for example these ones, and I mean it can handle it, but you're starting to feel the necessity for stronger equipment. When weeds are tall and chunky, and for example these ones young, I mean, by hand I can chop this, it's still doable. The lawnmower does it. It's a pretty powerful 40-watt battery lawnmower of Echo, but I'm not trying to make publicity for it. I think you should always buy something that's really local and easy for you to repair, so you have somebody to supply you with help if you need it to a tool. So it doesn't make much sense to give you a tip to buy this machine, because in your location it might not be making a lot of sense. So try to find something that's making sense in your location. Maybe you have a really cool store next to you, and so start to, of course, needs to be a good tool, otherwise I wouldn't go for it. But just a weed whacker that chops it. The negative, of course, of the weed whacker is that you still have to harvest all that material and rake it into the beds. But the benefit is that you can actually go attack much taller weeds like this. So weed whacker is cheaper. You can get very powerful battery weed whackers, which are really great to work with. You can even prune stuff on the side like that. Yeah, what I don't like about weed whackers is that they are a little bit asymmetrical. So you really have to work on one side of it, with one side of your body more than the other. Lawn mowing is obviously a little bit more steady, symmetrical. Walking behind, it has traction, so it's really nice. He drives by himself, and I can put it even faster. And I don't have to run, but he definitely pulls himself uphill. So that's nice, but now the negative of that is you missing the battery power after a while, so you really need more batteries to finish. Wow, gasoline tools probably would leave you work longer. Everything has pros and cons. I really don't like the fumes, I don't like the sound, so I like it much more from electric equipment. Yeah, so that a little bit more on the electric on working with tools. But anyway, this is what's left over of it, and yeah, I wanted to add that information so you would get a bit of a perspective also in how to manage systems like this. So again, we don't really take a lot of food out of this system. You know, this is not yet a lot of yield in a sense. It just takes effort, and I just have to put my energy into this besides getting obviously a beautiful site and yeah, sort of reward is in itself to just see this growing. It makes me really happy. But of course you want some food out of the system, and you want some yield somehow. So the edible flowers are being sold to restaurants, which is great, and some occasional harvests of you can see salt bush, for example. This one really nice edible leaf in salads, and there's more weeds and stuff that we can harvest from. There's flowers from the fennel. This is not partially, it's all the same family, I think, or it's similar. Anyway, these are the wow, I'm losing it. My names for the plants. I hope I will remember it one day. So anyway, celery, I think that's what it is, and it's regrowing very fast. But this is giving me this little bit of yield, I can say. Yeah, that's having said that, again, we're already getting a yield by growing biomass. So the system is enriching. It is a potential yield, basically, what you're setting up here. So all this organic matter that is now returned and concentrated, like the fig leaf, the cactus leaves, and all the prunings and everything, and the roots in the ground, carbon being stored, soil being looser because there's more biology, more animals. That is, of course, already a way of payment that I receive from my work. It will give me the opportunity to plant in the future again with more success. So that is something to really remember. It's really an investment also. Over time you gain more and more, yeah, regeneration, literally. All that stuff turns into really rich organic matter, and the soil life is gonna really, yeah, munch on that until it becomes humus-like soil, which then is a great place for microbiology to live in. This wood is here since the beginning. This is the only part that stayed moist. It starts decomposing, but it goes slow because it's very dry here. Now let me show you, maybe there's something else to finish the video with that also could give a little bit of hope. One thing that is definitely worth saying, if you have willow cuttings, don't bother getting these really thin cuttings. You can get really thick willow cuttings as well. They root. That's the cool thing about willows. The cutting size actually doesn't matter. You can go for thicker ones and they will root with water obviously. And then you have this great fast organic matter builders in your system. So yeah, let's go in here a bit, see if I find those chunks of wood if they're below. There you go. This was put here during the course. Let me take that out of position and turn. You can see it needs a little bit of a winter where it's constantly wet. And then, but there, right below this wood, I feel the moisture. And the corn obviously make these really deep roots. Hopefully, at least. Goes quite deep. And feeding the food, soil food web. That's it. Let it grow and then we can plant more, and every year things grow better. Thanks for watching.